Just kind of gives you inevitability, like you can't deck yourself, which is super nice. Can't wreck yourself. Well, we are super prepared for Oops All spells, although not necessarily game 1. You can deck yourself. I mean, if they counter the Nexus, I guess, yeah. Sure, like you legally can deck yourself, but you don't need to deck yourself. Okay, so it's not Oops All spells, but it is playing Tangled Veil. What is happening? I'm very confused. Maybe Green White Titan. Yeah, they named Dryad. Yeah, we should have realized that. Titan's a pretty good matchup, I think. Tangled Veil is new. I haven't seen this before. Oh yeah, although this version, the Green White Reclaimer version, is certainly worse for us. I think I'm gonna go ahead and just draw 2, and then we'll probably go Jace Bounce Dryad. Although that's pretty bad against them having Valakut in hand. It's pretty bad against them having Valakut in hand. We just like it's just so bad though if they have Titan, we don't bounce the Dryad, or you know path it. But then we're not advancing our game very much if we path. Hour of Promise is really bad for us, but maybe beatable. Hour of Promise is a bit weird to see in the Reclaimer deck. If we had a Force of Negation there, boy, this game would just be over. We could Mystic Sanctuary back Charm, and then Charm buys us a turn with Jace. I think I'm just gonna Brainstorm. Yeah, it's just way better if we find this. Force is kind of nice to have too. So in order to beat Field of the Dead, like you can beat one zombie a turn a lot of the times, but usually in order to win against Field of the Dead, eventually you need to find the one of Entreat the Angels. Why is Valakut weird? No, the Valakut's correct. Did I say Valakut was weird? If I said it, I didn't mean it, I promise. No, what was weird was the Hour of Promise. Maybe I said Valakut, but Hour of Promise is not something you very often see in this version of Titan. Yeah. So really hoping for no fetch land. Cool. Oh, that is kind of a fetch land. It's one we can respond to. Well, if Fran's been running Hour, then I'm just a boomer who's out of touch. Which is maybe something we are all already knew. I mean, Hour is good, it's just not something I've seen. We really need to win this game, I think. I think it's going to be tough to win both sideboard games. Please don't have another land. Damn it. Damn. Stinks. Guess that's kind of a tall order to ask for, huh? I guess they could still have Aladarmer's Call, so I'm not going to F6 yet. Shouldn't you have let them finish searching before path? Doesn't matter, right? I guess yes, but I'm trying to figure out a scenario where it actually matters. No, the bugs seem to be mostly gone from MTGO. It's been kind of fine for me. Kind of fine. think the absurd meme is good. Not 100% sure. So I'm going to take a hit here. Miracle and Terminus again, but we of course need to find... We need to find Entreat. Or like another Jace maybe. Jace plus Cryptic could be good. That is a pretty good pet card, black. Windswept Teeth is bad for us. Keep an Omen, I guess. Man, Deliberate... Omen of the Sea is so much better than Deliberate. It's kind of crazy. The more versatile pet card is Uro. Yeah, we can all have a... We can all compare our pet cards. So we're going to Terminus on their turn. That way we don't get hit by these zombies. But then we just need to find Entreat, probably, right? Yeah, Wildfire's not that good against or against Reclaimer. I mean, Reclaimer is just, you know, the Titan deck that's good against the blue decks. Maybe Fran can correct me, as Fran loves to do. But if you're a Titan player, you want to beat these blue decks, this is probably the version for you. Yeah, maybe just Entreat or bust at this point. I want to scry first. Yeah, now we can actually, if we find a Jace, we have the Cryptic Command lock. Jace the Mind Sculptor. Easy, dude. Oh, we need to draw into a land off of Jace. I thought we had enough. We do need to draw into a land off of Jace, or like even like Condemn does it, or it makes us survive, I suppose. Okay. This does mean we don't have Force of Negation up. Oh, I was supposed to. No, I think I'm supposed to keep 1 over 3 because they have Cavern for Dryad anyways. 1 counters Reclaimer. We could tap draw if we're like afraid of Pact. I don't think we are though. They didn't sack their Windswept Teeth end of turn. You guys remember when Valakut decks had mountains? Yeah, thank you, Dryad, for taking all the mountains out of these decks. Yeah, I think I still want a 1-drop on top. Just Charm is better in hand as a counterspell anyways, and they have a Cavern on 3. Better to tap draw, better than bounce draw is tap. Well, I mean, we want to tap bounce, so we can do this every turn. I'm gonna draw 2. Dig a bit deeper for Entreat. Also, just drawing a Terminus is gonna make it to where we don't have to do this every turn. 2 is kind of a good number to put on top because of Eladamri's Call, I suppose. Do that. Pretty nice that the first mode on Cryptic is this mode. Not sure that this is good. To draw the counterbalance so we can counterbalance the Reclaimer. I think it's fine. I think we do need to deal with the Reclaimer, so I think that's okay. How do we win? Entreat the Angels. Winning the game is so overrated, guys. It's an interesting draw. think we play that. We'll see what we draw off of this. Well, we drew the Entreat. I don't think they've played Vesuvi yet, no. Yeah, they should be able to make zombies at instant speed, but I think we're just gonna wait a little bit here. Because I kind of want to find an opt maybe, or a second Cryptic Command, or another Mystic Sanctuary. If we find another Mystic Sanctuary, we can tap draw with Cryptic and then Miracle Entreat, and then still get back the Cryptic Command lock if we want it. Yeah, that's a Mystic Sanctuary. So now we can tap draw. Make sure I didn't like lose the other one, yeah. Yeah, Dryad is a big deal. We've already dealt with 2, although they shuffled 1 back in. But they have a Cavern naming Dryad, so it's not like we really get to play around it. I think we just ride these Angels to victory. Well, yeah, maybe this was a bit dumb. I was thinking that, you know, if we found an opt, we could just Miracle Entreat, and then the Angels can block the zombies. And if we miss, we have the second Jace. I think this is the second Jace. Okay. Leave a Terminus on top to counter Prime Time. If you draw a Terminus on the opponent's turn, can you cast it because it's a sorcery? Yes, but if you Miracle Terminus, you can cast it on your opponent's turn anyways. But you can also just 6-mana Terminus with Teferi, of course. So yes and yes. Alright, just need to fade a Dryad for 1 more turn. Maybe I should have prioritized finding a path. We can instant speed Terminus if they do have a Dryad. Right? Maybe not, actually. Because if they cast Dryad, we Remand, and then the Miracle doesn't work exactly how we want it to. Alright, we'll see if they found it. You take a hit here to play around Dryad. I mean, they have a Cavern on Dryad, so I don't think that does play around it. And they drew it! And we lose. Fuck. Well, we don't necessarily lose. Yeah, we do necessarily lose. I'm sure there was a way to play around this. I just didn't figure it out. If they play a spell somehow, which they're just not, which they can't because we have Teferi, but if we can cast this Remand, we get to Terminus. But they're just gonna fetch and kill us. Or play away. Awesome game 1. Really cool game. I have Terminus on top, but I can't Miracle it. Cryptic Remand. Response to Valak could trigger Terminus. They just fetch in response. Right? Do I even want Torpor Orb? Probably not. I do like Teferi. I do like Nexus of Fate. Not a big fan of Counterbalance. Might play 2. Talesyn is kind of good against Elvish Reclaimer. Yeah, if we Remand the Dryad, we Miracle Terminus, but the Dryad isn't in play yet. Was remand your Dryad, then remand your Remand to draw 1 off Terminus of line. Yeah, it just doesn't work like that. The Dryad just won't be on the stack when you Miracle the Terminus. I do think that I'm sure there was a way to win that game. I just didn't find the line. Maybe take a hit and then remand the Cryptic. The problem with that is if we take the hit, we're just dead to them fetching once with Dryad. And so I don't think we can take the hit. I think, you know, in order to have played around that series of events, we would have had to play around it like 5 turns before, you know? Oh, I didn't mean to register the 6-1 card special, but whatever. Probably just play 1 Counterbalance. Yeah, actually, plussing Jace was the line. Yeah, just draw the Cryptic off of Teferi, then plus Jace. That was it. That was, of course, the best play. How could we have forgotten? I don't think. I mean, Torpor Orb is like. I guess it stops like Spring Bloom Druid too. Like maybe 1 Torpor Orb is fine, but you probably play 1 over the Counterbalance. It's just not as good, I think. I guess this. Yeah, this is what happens when you don't plus Jace. I guess if we draw an island, we're gonna want a Sanctuary with this Strand. Do we have any good cards against Green White Titan? We got Aether Gust. We got I do think Nexus of Fate is actually really good against them. Kind of goes over the top sometimes. I think Teferi is good against them too. We got game. So I had his Dryad Reclaimer, 3 other cards. Not the worst draw, honestly. If they just play Dryad plus Reclaimer, we can Omen looking for a land and then just hard cast that, get a 2 for 1. They can kill my Teferi if 2 of their 4 cards are lands. But 0 of their 4 cards are lands. Interesting. I could see keeping the second Delta as a Mystic Sanctuary, but we just have like so many Sanctuaries in the deck. I don't think that's good to do. You can instant speed Terminus, but you can also open yourself up to Elvish Reclaimer if you do that. Haven't seen me play Sharkblade in a minute. I've been thinking about it. I might dust it off soon, but I just don't think it's particularly good right now. I think it's okay, just not good. Yeah, seeing the Skyclave Apparition, I'm probably down to play orbs. Maybe, probably still just 1. We'll see. I'm gonna keep that. We can deal with the Teague with the Gust or a Path. Probably Gust. yeah, we'll deal with Teague with Aether Gust. Awesome. Feels good. Is there a meta where Miracles is better than just Sky Wildfire? I'm sure there is. Honestly, I'm not 100% sure exactly like the contents of, you know, like exactly what environment that looks like. Actually, I think I need to keep both Gusts in my hand. That way we can Gust something and maybe have Force up. I guess we just don't. Yeah, never mind. There's no way we would need to Gust and Force this turn. So we could have put a 2-drop on top to counter something. And I'm gonna Path. I know that they are hungry for lands, but we're gonna do this at some point. Might as well do it now. What do I think of the new blue-black control deck? I've talked about this a bit. I really dislike the discard spells in the deck. They're like really bad top decks and don't play great with counter spells. Yeah, I could have countered this for free. I think I'm still gonna Gust it. And I also think like the deck is not built around Narset really. It plays one Gaia Reach, and 4 Narset just seems like too many. I think you should play 3 at the most. Probably 2 is the number I would settle on. Probably 2. But beyond that, but beyond that, I think there are things to like about the deck for sure. Those are just some criticisms I have. Maybe just like a style difference. Yeah, Drown is also a really good card, I think. Although I know not everybody likes it. Just play Grixis. I think blue-black is better than Grixis. Yeah, I agree. A second Jace would go a long way, maybe. And while I do think Narset is fine, I don't like Narset is really good against the Omnath decks, and she's not really good against most other things. She's still fine most of the time, but it's not like Narset is like this super secret hoser that's just great against everything. Like she's good against the Omnath decks, not unbeatable, and then, you know, not good against, you know, Titan or Scourge or Swift Spear. Well, Drown kills Planeswalkers if they're on the stack. So this was, you know, the easier game, the sideboarded game on the play. Hopefully we can get similarly lucky in the post-board game here. Skyclave Apparition giving us a quick win condition is nice because we actually are behind on time. I was gonna Mystic Sanctuary Terminus and be super cute, but I need to win. I need to focus, and me not having yield till instep is so annoying. But my clock is relevant here. I've gotta win in like the next two minutes to make sure I have enough time for game 3. Yeah, thank you, opponent. Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna use the restroom while this timer goes on. I need to go. Okay, thank you for your patience. Yeah, we keep this and get run over by a fast start. Oh, I forgot. Oh, man. Yep, forgot to change the sideboard. Oops. I mean, 61 card special worked last time, so. Yeah, I was definitely afraid of the turn 1 Reclaimer. Obviously, nothing we can do. Splinter Twin. Might steal the Reclaimer. Not the best draws. $61 cards, by the way. So if we you know, answer the Reclaimer here, the problem is we open ourselves up to, you know, getting tightened. Or boiled. But I don't think we have the luxury of just letting them have Reclaimer. I think we just have to hope that their hand isn't that good. They did take a mulligan. If they have a boil, we lose. Yeah. I do really feel like this deck's playability is directly proportional to the amount of boils people are playing. If people are just playing a ton of boils, Miracles is not that playable. We could keep this on the draw. Hope to hit 2 out of 3 lands, but I think it's better to go to 5. Put back Force of Negation on the Mold of 5, and I guess opt. Alright. This is where we all put our hands together and we say, please be Etron and not Greentron. Please be Etron and not Greentron. Is there a deck that uses Wrenn and 6 to get some bonus value from Reclaimer eating your lands? Seems like a lot of mana, because like Wrenn and 6 is, you know, doesn't get going until turn 3. Please be E-Tron. What should I play in tomorrow's challenge? Should I play this? Or the Bant deck? Or Jeskai? Or Grixis Control? Close. I guess we shouldn't have revealed. We don't have a 7. I was playing the Door to Nothing this deck. Cuss Control. That sounds great. Cuss is like very good and playable. Okay. It's Dice Factory. Flip a coin for Bant versus Jeskai? Yeah, maybe. Honestly, Bant seems really good. How did I do last weekend? I got second place in last weekend's challenge with Bant. Cuss, please use your pet card. I do have a dono option for me to play your pet card. For $40, I will build the best Kess deck I can, and I'll play it on next Thursday. I think that's a pretty good deal. Am I going to Terminus? They already have infinite mana. But if we don't Terminus now, we're not Terminusing at all. Maybe we're supposed to upkeep Omen and bottom this. We could concede. Jeskai Black. That's the name I haven't heard in a long time. Why not next Thursday? Is there something going? Oh, Thanksgiving. Man, I never leave this room. I might actually stream on Thanksgiving. I do have plans, but I might still stream in the morning. Is this Double Masters limited? What? This is the Saffron Olive deck. I should have guessed. I mean, this has hexproof from monocolored, and Teferi is not. You can draw 5 with Ori. Ah, it's so good. Oh, man. Dude, that's the best thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Our opponent just wins, right? If we don't find Force. Because they get the untap guy. No, they got Door to Nothingness. I can't believe it. Oh my gosh. We don't have any 5-drops in our deck. We are very cold to this Door to Nothingness. We have like almost no outs. I have no 5-drops to counterbalance. We'd have to go our second Teferi Time Raveler into Force of Negation. And of course I'm going to let my opponent door. Dude. We have Tails End in our sideboard. Oh my gosh. Think of how famous I'll be if I get to screenshot that. I'll be unstoppable. The clout will be out of this world. Yeah. I'm not going to concede.
So, I didn't realize you bought 2 cartons of milk last time, so I bought another carton.
I'll drink them all today. You guys want to see me drink a gallon of milk in an hour? I hear that's fun. You want to do one too?
No.
Okay, I'll do
I
it
just
by
ate
myself.
some cottage cheese. How about I eat all the cottage cheese?
Okay, you'll eat a gallon of cottage cheese melted down.
No, not melted. Just
not melted
a
down.
A whole thing of cottage cheese. No, I bought little cups of cottage cheese, so I can't even do that challenge. So.
Okay, well.
Sour cream. Or I bought more ranch. More ranch.
The gallon of ranch.
Yeah, it's a pretty big thing of ranch. It's not as big as the one we had, but.
Yeah, I hear that drinking a gallon of milk an hour is like a real good time or something.
It doesn't even sound that bad, but at the same time, it's like, wait, even a gallon of water is too much.
Yeah, I just don't think that I have a good visual idea of what a gallon is. Yeah.
A gallon is 2 of those cartons. And I think a little bit more, too.
If I wasn't lactose intolerant, I would eat a gallon of milk so fast. You
It's
don't even know.
lactose free.
Oh boy, now you're dead. Milk. I've got you on the ropes now. I don't know what I'm doing. Perfect sideboarding, I think. Actually looks pretty good to me. A gallon is 1/12 of my hat. Ah, that's a good way to visualize it. That's a good way to visualize it. Yeah, it takes a while to click through it, and I say this as someone who actually played Door to Nothingness yesterday. What a small world. Snap keep. Opponent's dead. With this hand. Athena loves cheese. We usually give Athena some string cheese whenever we eat some, and she loves it. It's like the only human food we give her is string cheese, and she knows that she knows not to ask for regular cheese, but she will ask for some string cheese. Maybe we're supposed to force that. Now we have Tails in to top deck. We can save this for Door to Nothingness. We did get doored, yeah, we got doored really badly. But now our opponent knows we have the answer to the door. The meta is evolving. Okay, now from now on, whenever someone asks me what Tails End is for in the sideboard, I'll tell them the truth. It's for the Door to Nothingness deck. You gotta have a way to beat Door, man. It's so fast and consistent. Yeah, that's a Jace the Mind Sculptor. Pretty good. Hopefully no Core Tapper here. I think Cornucopia is kind of fine. I really don't want to shuffle my Jace away. This is going to translate into a lot of mana soon. Bring back Mox Opal. I'm kind of down, honestly. Don't tell the people who constantly ask me what I think should be unbanned in the format. Like I'm in any way an intelligent person and not just a good commentator or an entertaining commentator.
Do you want a lemon bite? They're delicious.
Alright. Yeah. Thank you. Mm-hmm. How's your hand doing?
I think it's dry. That's better.
I can chop it off.
No.
These are good. I think we want 4 on top. I'm not sure. Feels like a good number. Needed a 5. Well, we could Tails and Golos if we had left that up. So I guess we're bouncing Golos and then countering it on the way down. Yeah, they're lemon bites. I don't think I've ever had one before, but very good. Esther's always looking out for me. She always wants me to eat just anything. Was constantly feeding me, which is a good trait to have, but she also hates it when I say no to food. She takes it very personally. Where's the second mine? I guess I'm gonna Cryptic the Golos. We do have a 7-drop in our deck, but we know the top card, I think, so I'm not gonna reveal. Yeah, just a little known mode on Jace. You don't need to plus Jace as aggressively in matchups like this where they're not attacking it very aggressively, so you can actually use the 0, which is pretty medium because you have to put 2 cards back. But it's okay in some situations to 0 Jace. Probably not something you want to be doing very often. I think I'm going to Cryptic. Although it's possible that it's better to Tails End. We can Tails End the Inventor's Fair trigger if we want. What's the better 4-drop? Cass or Jace or Cass? Good question. Good question. They're about equally good. Yeah, they should be putting counters from the Surge node on the Cornucopia. I think. Oh boy. Never mind. Never mind. It is not better to put counters on the Cornucopia. One of my favorite things in Magic is when someone makes a play that is like just technically wrong, or you would ask 99% of players and they'd say it's wrong, and then they just get weirdly paid off for it, like this.
I also bought us little Starbucks things. Yours is mocha, mine is peppermint mocha.
What's the Starbucks thing?
The thing that you always like, those Frappuccino things.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, well, I just didn't know what you were saying. Like, what? I didn't know what a Starbucks thing is.
I don't know what to call it.
Yeah, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Why not? Why play this over Manifold Key? We didn't want to put Nexus on top? I guess. Oh, boy. Guess we did. I was thinking I was just going to shuffle. You can't Manifold Key your opponent's artifacts. I didn't actually know that. That's actually kind of interesting. I thought Manifold Key was just a strictly better Voltaic Key. You wanna respond to the Sanctuary trigger with your Omen. That way you can get full value out of the Scry. It's also not true, I see. I've never cast Manifold Key. I just know that it exists. I know that it's just a better Voltaic Key for the most part. But why are they playing that card? Good question. It doesn't seem that good in their deck. I agree. It's got synergies. It can make some mana, but I think it's like maybe a bit too win more to like really be correct to play. It's like, why play Voltaic Key to get more mana when you could maybe just play Sylvan Scrying and Ancient Stirrings to have Tron more consistently? We'll see if they play around Tails End this game. Oh, Sphinx of the Guild Pact. I mean, Sphinx is just kind of a cute card, I think. They do play around it this time. The idea behind Sphinx is you can draw 5 off of Chromatic Ori. Is that good? No. Is it why they're playing it? Yes. Maybe they'll make like a big Everflowing Chalice or Astral Cornucopia, and we can just steal it with Charm. We can also Tails End a Chromatic Ori. Cannot Tails End Sphinx, which is another reason why Tails End is better, or sorry, Sphinx is better than Karn because it can't get ended. Tails Ended. Just holding up Charm here, I think, right? Oh yeah, that's what it does. It lets you door to nothingness the turn it comes down, of course. Yeah, Voltaic Key is great. Also, are they playing Karn the Great Creator? Kind of seems like they're not, because it seems like they have all the like tutor targets, the juicy tutor targets just in their deck already, which is a bit sus. This is Karnless. It says, yeah. I guess I figured as much. we bounce? Are we okay if they just sack? I think we are. I think it's fine. Yeah, they can sack to deny the card draw. And now we can put Tails End on top, which is going to be good to counter the core tap. Oh, wait. I don't have Counterbalance in play. It is going to be good with the Teferi Hero of Dominaria. I just was like autopiloting. I have Counterbalance in play. Speaking of sus, Among Us stream December 7th to celebrate the victory. I probably wouldn't do an Among Us stream to celebrate the victory because it's kind of hard to like talk and chat during Among Us unless you die really quick. But if I do have if I do a top 8 or better finish, we'll have some kind of celebration stream, of course. Yeah, maybe it would be a Dark Souls stream. Sounds fun. Taking a break from Magic after the PT is probably something that sounds nice. Inventor's Fair. An all Souls marathon. I've never played Demon Souls, and I don't have a PS5. I'm not going to get one soon. Or Bloodborne or Sekiro. I've just played the Dark Souls games. I bet I could beat all 3 Dark Souls in under 24 hours. Not that I want to do that. But I do think I could. I mean, the problem... I would have played Bloodborne, I just don't own a PS4, It's not that I have anything against Bloodborne. 5 subs, you can't. 24-hour stream for 5 subs. Probably worth it. Dangerous 25. Thank you for resubscribing. Appreciate you, bud. All right, how about this? If I win the Pro Tour, if I actually win the Zendikar Rising Championship, I will do a 24 or not a 24-hour stream, just stream until you beat Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3 back to back to back. That's only if I win. If I get second place, I'm not doing it. But I will commit to this if I get exactly first place at the Zendikar Rising Championship. So now you guys have a reason to root for me. Can Tails in the Blast Zone here, which is pretty good. I would just die if I did a 24-hour stream. If I did a 24-hour stream, I would take 3 days off afterwards. Which sounds not good for the stream's momentum. Yeah, I've been testing. I've been spending 3 or 4 hours a day off stream testing for the PT the last 2 days. Since I got my God account on Wednesday. How about a 24-hour, 24/7 MTGO fun stream? Like Commander and Drafts. Maybe a Vintage Cube were alive still, but I think it's leaving tomorrow. What's the reason you don't think discard play well with counter spells? So there's 2 different reasons. One, usually discard spells are inherently tempo negative. So if you discard spell your opponent, they have 2 2-drops to play, and you can only take one of them, and they play their second 2-drop, you're behind on board. And counterspells require you to be trying to stay ahead on board and not get behind, because counterspells are really bad when you're behind. Beyond that, counterspells are really good top decks in the late game, and discard spells are really poor top decks in the late game, and so you kind of have some tension there as well. I mean, tempo is a thing. I know tempo has become a huge meme or whatever. But the concept of tempo exists. It's just people I think people think tempo is a type of deck. And that's my main point, is there's no such thing as a tempo deck anymore. Every deck is a tempo deck. Second place is DS1 and 2, and third and fourth is only DS3. Second place is DS1 and 3, and then third and fourth is just Deus 2. Yeah, it makes sense, but if your opponent's hand is on curve, it's kind of a win. Yeah, yes, if is the thing. Like it's not like discard spells and counter spells are always going to play poorly together. That's not the claim. I guess we just have Terminus on top. That's not what I'm saying. It's just just in general, like just some amount of the time, the discard spells and the counter spells are going to be awkward together in those kind of situations. But like, yeah, that's the main idea. Oh my gosh. All his dust is pretty nice. Although it's kind of a nombo. They just conceded. Oh man. My audience is MTGO, and even though the one arena stream I did during maintenance went well, like I do not currently plan on. I do not currently plan on, really transitioning the content towards arena very much right now. I'll stream a lot of arena if I become an MPL member. But that doesn't seem overly likely to me. I'm not going to path this Delver. Not yet, at least. Yeah, this is a tempo deck, baby. Play Delver. Yeah, so what people think tempo means is casting the card Delver of Secrets and then countering every spell that targets Delver of Secrets. And if that's your definition, that's fine. Being an MPL member would be awesome. Then I could really never leave this room. Could have Esther bring me food and Athena. They force pitching Vindalion Click. You don't really have much of an incentive to stream Arena over Moto if your audience is Moto. Yeah, exactly. Canister, that's actually... you're actually the perfect person to ask, because I know, you stream a lot of Moto. I was under the impression that you had to stream Arena if you were the MPL. Is that just not the case? You can just stream whatever Magic content you want? Used to be the case in 2019. They draw 2 instead of Protect Delver, so we know our opponent's not a tempo deck, because a tempo deck is counter every spell that targets Delver of Secrets. That's the exact textbook definition. Cool, thank you for the info. So now you guys can root for me to be in the MPL one day. Okay, so now we're going to path in our opponent's upkeep to try to shuffle away that charm. Opponent did flip the Delver on turn 2. Didn't even comment on that. Yeah, tempo is just like energy, in the sense that energy cannot be created or destroyed. There is a finite amount of tempo in the universe, and it just shifts from player to player. They did shuffle away the charm. But then how do energy counters work? Energy counters are just a conspiracy theory. They don't actually exist. I think we bought on both of these. Maybe we could have kept the opt. Tell that to Kaladesh Standard. I really liked Kaladesh Standard. I thought Kaladesh Standard was really good. They reveal Spell Snare. So we'll remand our own Omen after they Spell Snare. It's a weird line opponent. I'll keep both of these. Don't really get that one. Bouncing Omen with my Cryptic Command is like my favorite thing to do in Magic. It's not even that good, but I love it. If there are no tempo decks, are there tempo plays? I've really lost track of the joke at this point. I feel like the joke has lost any form. Maybe it never had one to begin with. Opponent's last card is probably Lightning Bolts. I mean, sorry, we know they have Spell Snare plus Mystery card. This was the card. Okay, so we will cast Omen, and they should Spell Snare this. They found the line. And now I'm going to Mystic Sanctuary back Terminus, and then Remand my own Omen. Isn't this a joke-free stream? Oh, shit, I keep forgetting. Keep telling jokes. It's honestly a weird policy. A no-joke stream. How's that even... What does that even mean? This kind of doesn't make much sense when you really think about it. Yeah, I know it's my policy, which I can't change. It just... What was I thinking? Sanctuary is dumb. Dude, Counterbalance is so sick. Such a fun card to play with, and such an unfun card to play against. Is Maverick a tempo deck? Maverick and tempo it just means the same thing, I think. Maverick just has no meaning. I guess we remand this to just have a... Oh, they don't have another red source? It's pretty good. Oh, I didn't realize I had a land to play. We should put Entreat on top. It's gonna be fine. Yeah, Ant stands for ad nauseum tempo, exactly. Not my tempo. Not my tempo. Maybe that could be a good clip to play on the soundboard. You guys ever seen Whiplash? Whiplash is a great movie. So I'm going to bottom the opt-in of turn, fetch a fountain, Miracle Entreat. Yeah, Whiplash is a great movie. Great movie. And you know, for those just to tie in, no spoilers. There's just a guy who screams "Not my tempo" over and over again in Whiplash. This is so brutal. It's so hard to play around Counterbalance too. Opponent has a counterspell in their hand. I'm assuming. Feels so bad. Just feel... What a gross sequence of events. Like, have a 1-drop on top for the bolt. Hard cat, you know, Entreat for 5 also. And then get to force the Cryptic. It's kind of perfect. Bring in the Timely, the Dispute. Teferi seems decent. Probably want to play like 2 4s. 3 Terminus? 1 Remand? Perfect. I want to get white mana into play for Terminus as soon as I can, so I'll just play this tapped. I guess Blood Moon could get us here. I feel like being a streamer is kind of like teaching a kindergarten class where, you know, you can just kind of tell the same jokes over and over again and nobody ever gets tired of them. Which is good because I have a very limited supply of jokes. If they draw to a charm, I'll probably counter it with force. Certainly no one is getting tired of these jokes at all, of course. Thank you for solidifying that, Kenji. Those are some weird ellipses there, but I'm glad that you're agreeing with me. If anybody says a word about tempo when I cast this Cryptic Command, if I see the T word in chat, I'm gonna lose it. What a good tempo play! I said it. I can't. I'm sorry. I just couldn't deal with what a good tempo play that was. That was not a tempo play. What a perfect top deck. It's kind of absurd. I guess maybe Terminus is better, but it's still really good. Then we played against 2 tier 1 strategies, Door to Nothingness, Tron, and then Is It Delver. Why does the chat from some games stick around so long? MTGO is a well-designed program that is not something that's very easy to like wrap your brain around. You know, I'm not a coder, and yeah, there is a purpose. I just don't know what it is. Boggles is a good matchup. It's a good matchup. You can definitely lose though, especially to Gaddock Teague. Is this a short hair beard stream? I mean, I've always had a beard, Twist. Well, that's not actually true. Maybe it is. I mean, I was born with a beard, but maybe I shaved it during the stream. I can't remember. I shaved it once while me and Esther were together, and she didn't like it very much. I can't remember if I was streaming at that point or not. But this is also like the length I usually like my hair, but it's just been a weird year, and I haven't taken care of myself at all. I don't think I'm gonna force this. Doesn't change the clock. Had a lot of looks at a Terminus. I haven't found one yet. I did click bottom. Alright, down to 3. Got an Omen here. I can also find Cryptic Command. Guess I was supposed to get Prairie Stream. Whatever. Oh, we can condemn the Slippery Boggles. So good here. Oh, this game's over. Yeah, we didn't want them to gain life off the Condemn, which is why we bottomed it. So Gust answers Teague, which is kind of nice. You could also sometimes Cryptic lock them with Teferi, so I think that's good too. I know Path answers Core Spirit Dancer, but Path also, I think, is just bad against them for the most part. You know, Gust hits like some of their enchantments, Scatic Teague, Dryad Arbor, Boggles while they're on the stack. Not many one-drops for your balance. That's a good point. Although I usually think that I don't usually play with like my counterbalance numbers in mind very often. Yeah, Nexus is good. Sometimes you can just kind of go over the top of them of decks that are non-interactive, like big mana decks and Titan deck and Boggles, you know, with Nexus. It's not an exact science, but what is? Is there any such thing as an exact science? I want to get white mana into play for Terminus, of course. Tapped Temple Garden. Interesting. Now I wish I had my Remand in hand. Thought it might have been a little slow on the draw here. What did my opponent keep? How do you feel about the GG every game as opposed to end of the match? I personally am a fan of GG at the end of the match, but if my opponent GGs after a game, I'll GG back. Yeah, it could be all 4 copies of Daybreak. I'm a big fan of my opponent. Anybody who says they're a fan of me, I'm a fan of them. I also don't have any fans. I have only friends. I'm like Michael Scott, who says, I want to be a streamer so I can have 1,000 friends and no one can say no to being my friend. yeah, no, only friends, not only fans. It's a different website, a slightly different atmosphere, but kind of the same idea. Yeah, only friends, where everyone just says, add a land, add 1 land to this deck spike. This Fran command has gotten totally out of control. Is there an Efort command? I don't think there is. For those of you who don't know, when I was in the 6th grade, I think. Don't have a lot of ones for your counterbalance. How's that for a 1-drop? When I was in like the 6th grade, I had a sub with a very, very thick accent, and they're calling roll, and when it came to say my name, which is Everett Mohan, they said Efart Moron, and I was called Efart Moron relentlessly for years by my peers, which was a lot of fun, a good time. Yeah, it was just so brutally devastating. Like, one, how was I supposed to be ready for something like that to happen, right? Who could be prepared? And it wasn't just that he said E-fart, and it wasn't just that he said moron. He said E-fart moron, and it just for years and years, my classmates called me that. It was devastating. In fact, it was like 3 or 4 years after high school. I went out with this girl who I went to high school with, and I didn't put that up there. I put this up there. So lucky. I went out with a girl like I used to go to high school with, and then she was like, "Do you remember we used to call you E-fart moron?" And so like that one comment that made when I was 12 like followed me, you know, almost 10 years later. It's just so funny how that happens. Was it in good humor for my peers? It was, yeah, for the most part. Like they're like my friends would call it to me, and then you know some people would try to tease me with it, but I've always had pretty thick skin. The doctors always say this is the thickest skin I've ever seen. But also, Esther is the only girl I've ever dated, so that story was a fabrication. The last, I've actually told that story on stream before. When I did, Esther like burst through the door and said, "What?" It was funny. Yeah, my life really started when I asked Esther out, but honestly, that is the truth. Esther truly has made me the best version of myself, and we really have, I think I found the best partner I could probably ask for. The moment I knew I liked Esther was when we were getting pizza, and then she had a topping of her pizza fall off. I think it was a bit of chicken, and then she just picked it up off the table and ate it. I thought it was, you know, like first dates are often very they're kind of tense, and you know you're real focused, and you try to make sure that you come off as a well-adjusted adult. And when she ate the chicken off the table, I thought it was real funny, and it kind of took all the pressure off the date, which was nice. It was a power move. It's a good move. If you guys are looking for a good first date move, just eat the food off the table. Well, this is an interesting way to end the league. It's been a while since I've played against this deck, and it's a very good matchup usually. But we have failed the Force of Negation check. Yeah, just dump the food on the table, eat it off, and eat off the table, and should work out fine, I think. Good draw. My real dating advice is just, you know, try to form connections with people, and if you can't, they're not the kind of person you want to be with. And so there's really no point in I've never tried to. I've always thought it was silly to like try to date someone or like try to get a girl because, or you know, whatever. Because really, if you want a, you know, a lifelong partner, you want someone to be with, you just kind of need to let those connections form naturally. And in my experience, it's just never been something you can force. It's something that has to happen when it happens. All right, let's do this. Yeah, I think Turn Timber is like really sus in their deck. Like they're just never casting this. So I'm gonna remand here because if my opponent does have like a Pact of Negation, we have the out of opting into Force. Before I even got done casting the spell, they conceded. Oh, it's green for Allosaurus Rider. I take it back. I actually take it right back. Never mind. The card's great. Play 4. Card is great. It also pitches to Nourishing Shoal. Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's not spooky. If they're like they're definitely not ghosting, right? Like if they were ghosting, they would just concede. Why go for it? They're 100% not ghosting. They just like understand what tapping blue mana means. Does Tails In do anything? Pitches to 4s. Counters a Gristlebrand activation. It's not that good, I guess. Probably just better than Path. Just to be blue to pitch to 4s. What if it was a bluff? I mean, I like pretty. I mean, if my opponent knows me, which they probably don't, but if they did, they should know I don't like to play like that. Now will I tap blue in the face? I kind of feel like that's a bit of an angle shoot. I don't know. Like, you could argue that it's not, but I just feel like mostly just a waste of time. Counter the pack trigger like a good friend. I'll do it if it comes up. I commit to it. I'll do it. I wish decks that could be embodied as real life personalities solely to know what kind of person Neobrand would be. Do you turn one edge of Autumn? Guess we'll keep playing, but not sure that there's really much of a point. Teferi in play is real nice because it means it turns off all their packs, and if they want to veil, they have to, you know, offensively veil. But I guess there's not a way to inoffensively veil because, you know. How could you inoffensively cast a 1-mana Cryptic Command? A card that is literally a 1-mana Cryptic Command. Yeah, I'm gonna play this. Like, if they have somehow the ability to win with a Veil of Summer, they could have a Veil of Summer, Neoform, Allosaurus Rider, 2 green cards as exactly the 5-card hand. If that's exactly the 5-card hand, good for them. Maybe we're supposed to minus the play around that. Although this plussing is better against like Simian Spirit Guide. I would never say that at chest. I would never come close to saying that. Wild Cantor is the choice. Simian Spirit Guide. Yeah, they said they could. They didn't even go for it. That was a sad match. You could feel the pain coming out of our opponent's side. Well, we didn't pick up a 5-0 today, but we did go 12-3 with the deck. 4-1, 3 leagues in a row. Ooh, a Jeweled Lotus avatar. Interesting. I also like Kazandu Mammoth a lot.